Good evening. I'd like to call this March 26th, 2024 Radford City School Board meeting to order. Can I please have a moment of silence? If y'all would care to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Dr. Ray, would you like to lead us off tonight?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Everyone had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make a motion we approve the agenda.
A motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Our school and student showcase, Dr. Joyce.
Thank you very much. So I'm joined tonight by Mr. Wade and Mr. Keister, who I think were deciding amongst themselves who is going to present. We have, so it's going to be, according to Mr. Wade, it's Mr. Keister now. We have a wonderful group of kids who are just off camera in the hallway that we need to recognize tonight for their swimming honors. So, Mr. Keister, if you will.
Well, I would like to invite Mr. Wade up here with me. I don't want to take all the limelight.
Mr. Keister.
Yes. See, that's why.
That is part of it. Look what a great group of kids coming here. Yeah, a lot of metal jingle.
Mr. Keister doesn't bite. He's had to.
That's right. No, actually, I haven't. I did have lunch. I had lunch at 4 today, so about 4:30. Yeah. So.
You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to fix this. Turn sideways, lean into each other. You know how to do this. Figure it out. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There you go. Good job.
So I'm not going to say a ton until I turn it over to Miss Rowland and she can present all the athletes here and all their awards. But this is a great group of young athletes, student athletes. I had the privilege of going with them to Richmond on their trip, and basically I think I was the person to go get all their food and set up, or at least pay for it, right? But these guys, if you think about it, they've been training. Some of them train year round, and they do an excellent job. But if you think about it, when they're out there, and Miss Rowland is basically telling them not to breathe while they're out there training, and when she's yelling at her, "Why are you breathing?" All right, especially on some of the sprints. But as you can see, all these athletes have a lot of hardware, and they put in a lot of time and effort to what they do, and it was awesome to see them compete. And they've had a lot of success over the years. And whether they're finishing as a state champion or runner-up, they're always up there towards the top. So, Ms. Rowland, I'm going to turn this over to you. You got some hardware, and you can introduce your crew here.
Thank you. What Mr. Keister failed to mention is he drove us. He served as an administrator there and as our bus driver there, and we were very grateful that he took us and took good care of us, getting us to and from. I am not going to introduce them. They can introduce themselves. So I'm just going to go down the line, and they're going to tell you their name, their grade, and what you swam or dove and placed at the state meet. Okay? Okay, you can start.
My name's Shelby Jones. I got first place in the 50 free, and I was a part of the 2 free and the 2 medley relay, and we got second place in that, and I got third in the 100 free.
My name is Tatiana Bernier. I'm a sophomore, and I swam the 100 fly, the 2 IM, the 2 IM relay, and the 400 free relay. That's number 1.
And something you swam for. Go ahead.
I'm Peyton Mowry. I'm a sophomore. I swam the 50 free, the 200 IM relay, and the 200 free relay.
I'm Summer Fisher. I'm a junior. I swam the 200 free and the 400 free relay.
I'm Evie Grimm. I'm a junior. I swam the 100 back and won in that. I got second in the 200 freestyle, and I got second in the 2 free relay and the 2 medley relay.
My name is Trent Hollinsworth. I'm a junior. I won the 100 breast and 200 IM. Both my relays got second in the 2 med and 2 free.
What Trent won't tell you is he broke his own record in the 100 breaststroke at the state level, and we actually, for the first time ever in my coaching career of 18 years with Radford High School Swim and Dive, we got to apply for Trent to be considered as an All-American. So we will hear this summer if he has been named an All-American, but it's a pretty big deal, and there's some pretty serious criteria you have to get. So Trent's 100 breaststroke is 4 laps. So you dive in, you swim down, back, down, back. He did that in 55.91 seconds. Is that right? Perfect. 55.91 seconds. Come on, girls. 55.91 seconds, which, if you don't know, that's real fast. Real fast. We'll come back to you, okay?
He also did 20 pull-ups today for the Marines.
Did you really?
Yeah, he was the top pull-up person.
Hey, I'll take it. Okay.
I'm Jill Grimm. I'm a freshman. I won 1 meter diving, got 8th place in 50 free, and both of my relays got second.
I'm Olivia Spalding. I'm a junior, and I got second in the 400 free relay.
I'm Ayana Garcia, and I got second in the 1 meter diving, and I'm a junior.
My name is Amani Scott. I'm a junior, and I got 5th at the dive competition.
My name is Sophia Puglisi. I'm a junior, and I went as backup.
My name is Ben Marinero. I swam the 500 free, 200 medley relay, 200 free relay, and the 400 free relay.
My name is Andrew Hope, and I swam the 200 IM.
My name is Greg Vinson. I swam in the 200 free relay, 200 medley relay, and the 50 free 100 bag.
My name is Ian Mayer. I'm in 11th grade. I swam the 100 breaststroke, 200 medley relay, and the 400 free relay.
My name is Joseph Epley. I'm a sophomore, and I swim 100 fly.
Who are you, sir?
I'm Brendan Fisher, assistant coach. I got to watch them swim all those events. It was great.
And I'm so glad these two joined us from soccer, because they get to hold this because they are our
Seniors.
And who are you?
I'm Holybert Klein. I'm a 12th grader, and I got 3rd place in 1 meter dive.
I'm Kylie Young, and I went as an alternative for the diving.
Correct. So we placed second place. The girls were second in the state behind Bruton High School, who are our arch nemesis of life. We have come in second place to them for 3 years in a row, but our gap each year is getting closer and closer and closer in points. And so it's one of those fun things. I tell the kids and the parents every year at the beginning of the season, I love to coach this team, and it's so fun to walk into the state meet to just watch them walk in and kind of file in, and everybody go, oh, it's Radford. Oh, it's Radford. Radford's here. And so it's really fun that they've kind of made a name for themselves. I'm trying to think. First year, second year. You just joined us this year. You've been swimming a long time. Let's see here. Freshman, first year diver, first year diver. Who else we got? That's it for brand new this year. So we have folks that have come in and done things that they had never done before in their lives. They stepped out on a limb and tried something. And if you remember back to your high school career, it is hard to try something new when you are in high school. It is not something easy to step out on a limb and do. And as you can tell, these kids put in a lot of hard work, and we are super proud of what they have accomplished. The boys were 3rd in the state this year, and they missed second place by 13 points. So we had a great showing this year at our state meet, and we are very grateful. Thanks. You can go. You're free. You can walk. You? You can. Okay. I'm like, I want this. Thank you. You all can have it back. Thank you. Thank you. 4 former students up there. Let's do a little bit.
And thank you to all the parents. Thank you to all the parents who have supported these swimmers over all these years and all these practices and meets and everything all season. And the little siblings who have to sit through all those long meets. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Keister. Thank you, Mr. Wade.
And thanks, Ms. Rowland.
All right, next up, Bella Calfee with our Radford High School update. Because believe it or not, there's more.
When I have to scroll, it's a great night.
Yeah.
Okay, so good evening and happy spring, even though the rain is overshadowing the beautiful spring season. Although I do remember hearing something about those April showers, and maybe that applies to March too, but at least it's not snow. However, I digress. Moving into the update. Even in the short week since I've seen you last, RHS has been busy. Oh my goodness. Our outstanding forensics team has won runner-up in the Class 2A state tournament this past weekend. We also had several first-place winners individually. Abby Napolitano in original oratory, James Rife and Colin Barron in humorous duo, Princeton Stevens in prose, Ali Shapizi was first in humorous interp as well. So a massive congratulations to all of those involved in the team. For those unaware, they have brought home state caliber titles every year, at least in my time at RHS and long before
Since
then.
2020, yeah.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. So certainly a lot to be proud of there. Our tennis teams have won have won 3 games and they've lost 1. Our girls had a particularly notable match against Blacksburg recently. It has been a great start to the program this year, and Mr. Ferguson let me know today that there's been a lot of interest, particularly for the girls team. Typically, the teams consist about 10 people. They've had 14, so they kept those extra 4 girls on there just due to the immense amount of interest. They are also looking to form a pickleball fundraiser. It has been done once before and was highly successful, so be on the lookout for details there. Our baseball team is 1-2-1, and the girls softball is currently sitting at 2-0. In soccer, the girls team is doing well at 2-2, and the boys are 2-0. Our FFA teams competed in area rally last week, a very large competition with schools from several different localities. Radford FFA represented very well, as usual, so be sure to congratulate members when you see them. Our drama department is putting on a rendition of Into the Woods as their spring musical. They're always phenomenal. So that will be on April 26th and 27th at 7 p.m. and April 27th and 28th at 1 p.m. So make sure to come out and enjoy a lovely night at the theater. MGA is coming up rapidly, and our Bill patrons are hard at work to produce top-of-the-line products to showcase Radford's hard work there the 11th through the 13th of April in Richmond. And hopefully we'll be in the Capitol building this year, bar any random construction or we go into session or any other line item we're really hoping to avoid. We should know sometime during spring break. But since spring has sprung, let's talk about flowers. Mrs. Givens and the horticulture department are holding the annual greenhouse sale and would love to have the community as well as you all join them. We have almost anything you could want, perennials, annuals, ferns, we got it all. This will be held April 27th. More details to come there as far as timing goes. Our Spanish 4 and 5 classes travel to Roca's today to practice their Spanish skills as well as enjoy a delicious meal. And one last oceanic announcement. Some of our biology and ecology classes will be traveling to McCarg Elementary tomorrow for the always popular Whale Day. So be sure to be on the lookout for pictures. It's always a really cool event. And speaking of the water, oh my goodness, the swim and dive team. So one last congrats to them, and it confirms something I've often wondered as to exactly who said cats can't swim, because I think they proved that we can. So we certainly have a lot to be proud of in Bobcat Country. So thank you for your time, and as always for the daily updates and just kind of fun humor. Well, we think we're funny anyways. Check out the RHS Bobcast, BOBCAST, on YouTube, and have a wonderful night. And as always, go Bobcats. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Forensics will be here on the April 9th night. We will recognize those folks on a job well done this past weekend. And for school and student showcase, that's all I have.
Excellent. Thanks so much. All right, moving on to our consent items. We have the superintendent's authority to appoint personnel between meetings. We have our student activities. Everybody got a chance to look at those, and the use of school facilities. Do I have a motion to approve our consent items?
So moved.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And of course, our minutes will be at our next meeting, since we've had a short amount of time in between last meeting and this meeting. All the minutes will be approved at the next meeting, which is why that's not listed there. Do we have anybody on the list to speak this evening? Nope. All right. then we can move on to our report of our superintendent. Dr. Joyce.
Thank you very much. So to begin with tonight, we have had a lot of discussion around health insurance premium increase here at the school division. Ms. Long and I have worked hard and crunched some numbers and have planned to absorb that 6% increase. Also, as a division, also we have talked about some third-party administration issues. And so because I know my limitations, I've asked Sam Irby if he wouldn't mind to come by for just a few moments. I think a couple of the board members would also like to hear from Mr. Irby. So he's been gracious enough to join us tonight, and I would like to turn the floor over to Mr. Irby now to just walk us through some of those TPA issues and our 6% increase.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to come and see y'all. Always love an invitation and to share ideas and allow y'all to ask questions and try to just be sure everybody's on the same page as far as health insurance, because it is a very, very important thing, not only to y'all but to your employees. Y'all have been involved with benefit plan administrators in Roanoke has been our TPA for a number of years now, so I know you know who they are. They were renting the Cigna PPO network, so you've employees, anybody covered's been using Cigna. This past October, well, late September, I got a call that they were selling their business to a company called WellNet out of Pennsylvania. Since that time, it kind of wobbled into maybe more of a merger than a complete sellout, so I'm not sure exactly what was going on. Morris Messina never shared with me exactly what he was doing. But anyway, that brought up a need for us to change third-party administrators, or to at least an opportunity if you want to change third-party administrators. You can either move straight over to this new company called WellNet, or Jefferson Health Plan, who holds your reinsurance contract and backs the program up for you, opened it up where you could have any third-party administrator settle all your claims for you that you want to. So it gives you a lot of freedom now that you haven't had before. I think that's a good thing, because if things aren't going well with the third-party administrator, let's move on and find somebody that does a better job for you. So anyway, what we did was we sent out an RFP for administrative services only, which means all the third-party administrator will be doing is providing you with a network of providers for your employees to go to, hospitals, doctors, etc. And then they will be settling your claims for you. Jefferson Health, when they came in a couple of years ago, took over part of the accounting function. So all of the billing and all of the money goes up to Jefferson Health, and Jefferson Health's accounting department redistributes that money back out to your third-party administrator once they get a bill for the claims, supposedly on a weekly or every other weekly basis. So that's kind of what's going on there. I think in your package you had just a short little spreadsheet that we did really quickly after we got those results in this week, so we'll get you something. You'll notice there, and I've told all of our clients, and I always do, when you're self-insured, and I'll do just a little education if you don't mind, but when you're self-insured, what you've done is taken a normal fully insured contract where Blue Cross or Optima Health, or which is now Centera Health, or United Healthcare, provides all the services to you, and what you've done is broken that apart. So it's kind of like buckets. Every month you pay into the administrative fee bucket. Well, that's the bucket that settles your claims for you. Part of your money goes into your reinsurance bucket, and that's the reinsurance to be sure that if one of your claims goes over $125,000, you can stop paying that claim, and the reinsurer will pick up the remainder of that claim. Then you've got another bucket that is your claims bucket. So if you think about the money you send every month, it's dropping in one of those three buckets. Right now, Jefferson Health is handling that reinsurance bucket for you, as well as some accounting. BPA has been paying Cigna for the network that you use and processing all your claims for you. So we sent out this RFP. I tell clients all the time, don't be too concerned about the admin fees. Only reason for that is all of them are gonna be fairly close, as you can see on that Excel spreadsheet we gave you. They're not that far apart, and when you consider paying $50 for admin a month for 163 people, you can multiply that rather quickly, and it's not a big portion of the total cost of your health insurance. About 85% or more of your health insurance costs are the actual claims themselves. So the admin piece, it's more about interviewing companies, getting to know what they offer, and choosing a company to deal with than it is whether they're $4 more than the other person, because the person that's $4 more on 160 people, that's hard math, but anyway, it's what, $74, $700, what is that? I usually do this in my head really quickly. But anyway, it's about $700 a month times 12 is not that much money when you're spending $2.5 million a year. So it's a very small portion of that. So don't get hung up so much in the cost. Once you decide, interview that you want to interview and who's going to be involved in that committee, so to speak, and you do those interviews and you say, we want this TPA, then you tell me, and if that TPA is higher than the other TPA, we'll see if we can work that out for you so you're not paying them more than the lowest person on your sheet. Okay.
Mr. Irby, I'm sorry to interject, but I'm just curious. You've referenced a Excel sheet a couple times. I actually don't have anything in my packet.
We did not share that.
Oh, you did not get it out?
No, and the reason why is because we hadn't had a chance to review it, and we were going to do, as part of the process, you interview those people, and then once we've done that, and of course we would share that information with you. So they do not have that at this time.
Okay. I apologize. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing something here. And I kind of looked through a couple times. I want to make sure, but I apologize. Please continue.
Sorry. Yeah, you were not left out on purpose. But anyway, when you talk about admin fees, you're talking about somewhere $40 to $50 per person per month. So it's not that big a deal in the overall scheme of spending $2.5 million. So at this point, what we need to do, and it is getting a little late, I'm sorry that we're running a little behind on where we should be at this point. Well, not behind, but we want to move along fairly quickly. If y'all could figure out who's going to be involved in the interviews, we will get those interviews set up. We can do them virtually if you want to, or we can do them in person, however you'd like to do it. One of the companies is from Pennsylvania, one from Indiana, and one from Virginia, the three that we're looking at. Virtual would probably suit them better if y'all don't have any opposition to that, but you can do it either way you want to. We'll set those interviews up, and I'll be present at those interviews, either here on virtual, whichever one y'all want me to be. And what we'll do is ask them questions and be sure we know what they're going to do and how it's going to function, and hopefully have a really good outcome when we get through.
That's our plan in the next few days, is to go over those proposals, and then we'll interview each of the ones that have submitted proposals, and then we'll choose which one's going to best serve our needs. So when we first learned of the 6% increase, I felt bad, but then as I learned from other superintendents and other divisions, we were okay.
Yes.
So if you wouldn't mind just explaining just a little bit about what some other divisions are seeing and what we might look for in the future. I don't know if you know that, but I feel pretty good about our 6%. Wouldn't you agree?
I do. I absolutely agree. We've seen some zeros this year, but we've seen a lot of 10s and 11s and
I've seen a few 20s
and some 20s. Keep in mind, y'all's renewal is based on your experience. So this coming year, if we get 3/4 of the way through the year and your claims projection was $2 million and it's already at $3 million, you're going to get a pretty good increase. But right now, things have gone very well in the last year or so, and therefore you're getting a 6% trend this year, medical trend alone this year. Blue Cross's numbers, for instance, are 8.9% on medical and 12-point-some-odd% on RX, on your prescriptions. So to come in at a 6, you're much below the normal trend right this minute. Medical cost it keeps going up every year, year after year. My feeling is anytime you get a single-digit increase, you've done pretty well. And we can always send out an RFP and get other companies to quote on it for you anytime you want to. And there's no additional charge for us to do that. It's all set up to do whenever you want to do it as often. Now, with the plan you're participating in right now, you do have some benefit of the consortium with Jefferson Health. So the 7 entities in the state right now, y'all are pooled together. You'll rather than pay a reinsurance premium for everything over 125,000 of claims, the school individually takes the first 125,000 of claim. The 7 entities together take the next $300,000 of a person's claim. And then we buy reinsurance anything over $500,000 per person. So that second layer right there, the insurance premium that would normally go to the insurance company does not go. It stays home. It pays those larger claims for the different schools or counties involved, and then what's left over stays in that pool. And what Jefferson Health underwriters are trying to do is build that pool for y'all to get to a point that you can increase and say, well, we'll take the first 700,000 of risk. And you, right now in Ohio, where Jefferson Health is based, they don't buy reinsurance. They take the first 1.5 million of a claim before they buy reinsurance. And you can imagine what that does to your reinsurance premium when you're able to do that. And that's the idea behind the consortium and having groups grouped together, in this method.
And I appreciate the support of this board and allowing Carrie and I, Ms. Long and I, putting the 6% increase into the budget to be absorbed by the division. So thank you.
Yeah, that's a very nice thing to do. We always love to keep the employees where they are and not hurt them if we can. And we're always looking for different ways of doing that. Okay.
Are there questions? Okay.
All right. Well,
thank you very
I look
much.
forward to seeing y'all again soon.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I want to talk briefly. Next board meeting, April the 9th, we are going to plan to be joined by the president of Radford University, Brett Danilowitz. And I want to give you real quick just a brief synopsis of what he's going to talk about so that you guys are a little bit prepared, okay? So there's a proposal. It went through legislation in Virginia for a governor's school that doesn't address science and math like we do at New River, but this one addresses arts and humanities. So President Danilowitz is bringing this with him from Florida, where he was president at another university. And I'll quickly go over what that's going to look like, and then he will be here to present on the 9th, and you guys can ask him questions. So during their sophomore year, students at our high school will attend in person at Radford University's main campus. They will be taught accelerated classes in their discipline of interest, bridging the gap in those disciplines so that they are prepared to take university-level courses the next year. These courses would be developed and taught by high school teachers who are trained in working with gifted students. And course content and learning outcomes will be developed in the consultation with faculty at the university. So that's grade 10. Grade 11, it's anticipated the students will take at least 2 university classes in their discipline of interest each semester, taught by university faculty then. It's intended to provide the student disciplinary level learning equivalent to their freshman year of university and result in at least 12 university course credits. During their senior year, it is anticipated that the students will again take 2 university classes in their discipline of interest each semester, taught by university faculty, intended to provide each student disciplinary level learning equivalent to their sophomore year of university. By completing a total of up to 30 university credits across grades 11 and 12, students may achieve sophomore standing at Radford University. The student will be on track to complete university requirements within 3 years instead of the traditional 4, resulting in faster placement in the workforce and savings of a year of tuition and other costs incurred over completing their university degree. So this would be, to me, a very exciting partnership with Radford University, something that would be very meaningful to our students. I sort of went on a limb and estimated that we could have 5 a year, and then we'd build on that through the course of the program, and we would have at any given moment then years down the road 20 kids in the program at one time. So I'm excited. I know the president's excited. He's going to be here on the 9th to tell you a little bit more about it. There are other divisions that are obviously involved, and we're all very excited to see this to see this come to fruition, which would be 25, 26. Okay? Are there questions about that? I know I went over it really fast, but I didn't want you to wonder what the president was doing here next time and without a little heads up. Okay? But we are very excited, and we speak pretty much weekly by email, getting things off and running. To that end, we will need, and you guys can decide tonight or in April, we will need a board rep that will, number one, be part of of building this ship, and then we'd like for that same board rep to transition into helping direct the program. If you want to take that on tonight, you can. If you want to talk and think about it, we can decide that later. It's completely, I didn't mean to blindside you, but that's out there if you guys would like to talk about that, or we can wait.
Do we have board members who would be interested in volunteering to be the representative?
I would need one.
Okay. So it looks like Jane is interested in doing that. Is everyone in agreement?
No, that's, Supersede anybody else.
No, I'm fine with that.
That'd be great. She already
Good.
has RU connections, so that would
That-
be
well, I know, that's what I was thinking.
a great fit.
Perfect. I have you down.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm excited for that, the arts and humanities.
Yeah.
That's great.
So we will have it pretty much surrounded between New River Community College and Radford University. That would be a great opportunity for our kids.
Absolutely.
Okay, so last time we talked about the eclipse on April the 8th, and we were about early release, no change, or late release. And Ms. Rife had a great idea. Let's put it back to the staff at each school, and I heard from each principal, and staying late didn't do well in our little informal poll. Imagine that.
It's really surprising.
But it wasn't exactly 50-50, but I don't think anybody was going to get their feelings hurt if we closed early or stayed. It is my recommendation as a superintendent that we stay on a regular schedule. We have glasses for all of our students and staff ready to be distributed at tomorrow's principals meeting. And I'm going to be sending out safety tips and ways to make this a very teachable moment for our kids. Those emails will go out in the next few days. But it is my recommendation that we stay on a regular schedule and just really talk it up to the kids about how to be safe and how to enjoy the event, because frankly, I can still remember the eclipse that I experienced in elementary school myself about 100 years ago, but I still remember it. So it meant something to me.
Yeah.
But I would like and I'm going to leave that up to the principals, but I would like for all of our staff to make it meaningful for our kids as well. So I don't know, I suppose we just keep trucking. That doesn't need,
Yeah, I think we
okay.
just keep on keeping on.
All right, any questions about that? All right, and hopefully it'll be sunny that day, not like today.
Yeah.
Okay, policy revisions, we received those earlier a few weeks back. Those have been posted for you to review. There are not a lot of changes. There are a lot of typos and a lot of corrections. There are a few things that I need to create if we're interested. One is school closings. I need to create regulations for. Simply put, the school closing policy wants these school divisions to add a virtual plan. If in fact we close schools without much notice, we need to have a virtual plan in place. I 100% agree with that. So I'll be working on that, and you guys will be asked to approve those policy changes in May, not in April. Any questions about that? So we don't have a lot of capital to update, and with that, that's my report.
All right.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Reports of board members. Does anyone have any reports? I know it's only been 2 weeks since we've seen each other. Does anybody have any reports to share?
I don't have a report, but I'm really looking forward to Whale Day tomorrow.
Yeah. So I think those of us who are able are going to come and join Whale Day for a little bit. We also have the art show that is going on at the Glencoe with our Radford City students there on display, and they are open Wednesday through Saturday 10 to 4 and Sunday 1 to 4. So that's all the way through April 28th. So if you get a chance, go out and see what our art students have going on.
I forgot, I was there Saturday. It was excellent.
Was it good? Great. All right, any other new business? All right, moving on to our action items. We've got our 2024-2025 budget, and we do have that in hand.
So last meeting, we went over a slideshow that explained our proposal, and tonight we would like for you to take action on this proposal. And if you wouldn't mind indulging me, I'm going to go over the highlights of that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at there. All right, I'm just learning, so bear with me. Okay, at our last meeting, we went over the three topics, or the three chunks, if you will: what we know, our unknowns, and what's next. We still have some unknowns. That is, we're not completely sure about the budget decisions being made in Richmond. Now we can really focus in on the governor. It's in his hands now. I see he's moving around the state talking about the backwards budget. We'll see how that plays out for K-12. We expect the final budget to be released on or about April 17th as law. And we have made an educated estimate based on information coming from the DOE with our calc tool that we received yesterday. And we're leaning more towards the lower numbers to be more safe and conservative. Okay, here's a funding recap, and I'll let Ms. Long peel back the layers. It's basically, I believe those are the same numbers that were there last time.
There was a small change,
Okay.
but it wasn't something that, we didn't remove anything, let's just put it that way. It was a baseline change that needed to be corrected. As we talked about at the last board meeting, we talked about our lower composite index, that as it is lower, we do receive more state funding. Our locality is less able to pay. You'll see again, we left the enrollment at 3010, and it'll show you how many residential and how many virtual students. So that came out with a total of $31,354,400. We are requesting the same level of funding from the city as we received this current year, $5,839,528. We have some local funds that we do receive, mostly from student tuition and from our K-12 Stride admin fee, totaling $904,342. So we have a total projected of funds of $38,098,270. My projection on the baseline budget is $34,966,881. So that left us with some additional funding of $3,131,389.
And you were right. As a matter, no matter how much I move those numbers around,
We really tried hard to get
they
them
did
to
not line up on the slide.
Just wouldn't do it.
No, but at least they're there. They looked really pretty on my computer screen. So what's next? Our priority budget proposals are compensation, including a 7% raise for teachers and staff, and benefits to include covering the 6% increase that Mr. Irby told us about, like we've done in the past few years. Also, benefits to include specialty teachers for the elementary school, an ag teacher at the high school, library aide position, AmeriCorps lift-up tutors we talked about last time, teacher apprenticeship through partnership with Radford University. We have one now. We'd like to add one in the fall. A school psychologist half-time position moved to a full-time, and there is a slight increase in our workers' compensation costs. These are just the highlights. Instructional, office and library funds, royalties and rights, technology upgrades, copier upgrades, custodial maintenance uniform and boot allowance so those folks can take care of their own clothing, high school auditorium projector, and the 2 buses that we talked about at length last time. Track resurfacing, there's another slide that went awry on me. I promise I don't type them in that way. The track resurfacing and the auditorium seats are 2 projects that we'd like to see included, and then we'll go after the bids if approved.
Oh, you want me to do this one?
Please, thank you.
Okay.
And this is basically an overview of what you have in your hands.
Okay, so I'll just focus real quickly on the second line there that says operating fund, Fund 1. That's the $98,270 that he had just spoke to you all about. So now we also have the various other funds, textbook fund, which is $852,102. This fund, of course, pays for textbooks, Chromebooks, and any type of software that is used as instructional usage. This fund has been growing the last few years. Money from Stride helps that fund also, so that's one of the reasons why. And I think we have some textbooks adoptions coming up this year.
Well, we have 3 content areas that have updated their curriculum, so naturally after that comes textbook adoption.
Yeah. Your school nutrition fund, $1,033,057. She's made allowances to increase their salaries by 7% also, and she's also accounted for increases in food cost with the food. The grants, $2,694,745. One of the biggest increases you'll see in this grant is the all-in funding. This is going to be based on our second year of spending with that particular grant. And most of the other grants were pretty much, we left them at level funding. You don't know until after, like, was it July, we see Title I and those funds come in. So it's a little bit, we just kind of base it off of the last year's funding. So I don't think, other than the all-in funding, that was probably the only really big increase in that particular fund. And then there's our health insurance fund, which would, the money flows into that account out of Fund 1 to pay for our health insurance claims. So, and it's $2,858,000, no, excuse me, $2,858,251. Fund 5 is our capital projects fund. We usually put about $220,000 in that fund to cover any unexpected type of things that may happen during the next school year. So we don't have to go back to the city and ask them to reappropriate money. This 220 will be coming from the carry forward fund. So it is money that we've been allowed to carry over throughout the years. And then the last 2 funds, we act as the physical agent for the Region 7 Virtual Academy and for also the Southwest Virginia Governor School. So because we are the physical agent for those 2 entities, we have to have it has to be approved by the city and the budget. There is no funding, well, there is funding because when our students go to the Governor School, we do pay for our students to go. And then we have a fee that we also pay for the virtual academy. So there is some small parts of our budget that does filter to those, but no money filters, from the city for those 2 items. And the governor's budget is based off of their current budget this year. So I haven't received updated numbers from them yet, but I don't think it'll change that much. And if it does, then we'll do an amendment next year for it. And so that means that we have a total of all those funds. So our total budget is $46,803,799.
Okay, thank you. So tonight, we expect school board action on our budget. April 1st, we will send our budget proposal to the city for preview. On April 8th, the school budget will be presented to City Council. I think Ms. Long and I will be there, and you are all welcome to join us. Also on that night, City Council public hearing and action on school budget involves first reading, and then on the 22nd, action would involve second reading and hopefully approval shortly thereafter. Okay? Are there questions? Okay?
No questions? All right. Do I have a motion to approve the 2024-2025 budget for RCPS?
So moved.
A motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion passes. Thank you so much for all of y'all's work on
Well,
putting that together.
That includes Mr. Calfee and Ms. Boyd for some of the heavy lifting early on and making this a painless process. We appreciate their input very much and look forward to the same process next year.
Excellent.
Thank you all.
Thanks so much. All right. Technology surplus.
We only have one item that is in your packet. That's risograph.
Yes.
That will be surplus. if the
Alright.
board so approves.
Do I have a motion to approve the technology surplus?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And then we've got some CTE courses.
I'd like for Ms. Denny to fill us in on some of the CTE course changes.
The projects and video production, which is in place now, doesn't seem to be existing for the future. So, Mrs. Young feels like communication systems will replace that pretty nicely, pretty evenly. It would be the first course in the sequence, and then we also want to go ahead and get the second course approved so that it's pretty seamless so students can take both. The second one would be video and media technology, and the descriptions are there.
Okay.
That was in your packet. If you have any questions.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve the CTE courses as presented?
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a question.
Sure.
With the approval of a new ag teacher, what does that program, and I don't expect you to answer it now, but what will that program look like in the future? Is it just for overflow? Or
Right.
Is it?
Right, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Fisher, but that program has seen a lot of action as far as interest and enrollment, and they feel like that the addition of a teacher will help that program grow, and that will be split between the high school and middle school, much the way it is now.
Yeah, we hope that would split and hopefully give the opportunity for us to offer some new courses, new offerings to expand on what we have.
All right.
That's I guess my question. What would those look like?
So, would you mind?
I'm not asking to put anyone on the spot. I'm
Well,
just-
you have
it's
the dream team is
curiosity.
here. This is
Okay.
This is the perfect time to ask.
Would you like to come up to our microphone so that the folks at home can hear? Thank you.
Miss Mosby from the high school.
Hello. So having a new ag teacher, if you all aren't aware of the CT class, especially with agriculture, they can only have 20 students in there for safety reasons with OSHA. And Miss Givens is awesome. She's popular. Her classes fill up quickly. And so we've also learned that we want to keep some of our seniors around, and there's not a lot for them to do. So we're hoping an additional ag teacher will have our younger students come out of DIS after an exploratory class, having a little bit more knowledge of what agriculture is. They get to dabble in a couple different things. They know more what to expect when they go into the classroom. And as 9th and 10th graders, they can start in those classes, leaving some of our other ag classes more available for upperclassmen to be completers. Completer is basically a sequence class that we can hopefully go do a credential in. So that's what our hope is. We just want to make sure we have more opportunities for our students as we go forward with CTE. So, yeah.
What about space?
That is a wonderful question. And what we're going to do is get super creative with that question. So what I'm thinking is we have a big space with carpentry leaving our facility, so to speak. Mr. Compton is taking over electricity. He's going to be building some electrical booths, but that's still going to leave some space. So we're going to get creative with that space at the end of the hallway on East Wing. And I think more so I'm interested in what this new teacher can come in and bring to our program, and because they can bring a wealth of knowledge, and it really depends on what they're going to teach, and we don't know that yet, to what we can offer and what things we can bring to the table. So first step is just let's find somebody awesome to bring in and teach our kiddos, and then we'll do the space, and we will figure that one out for sure.
Great. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
filling us in. All right, any other questions or discussion?
Did we have a second?
We did.
We did.
Was it? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sorry.
You're good.
Messed up your rhythm.
It's all good. No, you gotta ask the questions. That's why we're here. All right. We ready to vote? All right. All in favor for the CTE courses as presented? Say aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Thank you so much. All right. Closed session. Dr. Ray, could you?
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion that we move into closed session for reason number 1. I move that the board convene into closed session pursuant to section 2.2-3711A1 to discuss the appointment, resignation, and retirement of employees of the school board.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're in closed session. Thank you so much. You certify our closed meeting, please.
Yes, Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion that we certify closed session that we met for reason number 1, section 2.2-3711A, section 1, to discuss the appointment, resignation, and retirement of employees of the school board.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, and we have personnel matters. Do I have a motion to approve personnel matter 1.0?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And we want to make sure everybody knows that spring break is coming up next week. We'll be off Monday through Friday, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so we hope everybody has a wonderful and happy spring break. And were there any other things that we needed to discuss? I think that's it. All right, our next date for our regular board meeting is April 9th, 2024 at 6 p.m. here at the School Administration Building. Thanks so much. We are adjourned.